Ali Drew for Seconds Out here with Adam Catterall. Adam, how are you?
I'm all right. Why have you got me on? You know what I mean? You know that this is going to crash. You should be getting proper fighters on.
Because you do numbers. You're here for the press conference.
Yes.
So we'll start off Conlan versus Baluta. Mm-hmm. Great fight. What do you make of that?
It is a great fight, and it's a wonderful opportunity, obviously, for Michael to cement himself as the number one contender in this weight division. It's obviously his debut at this weight. He is stepping down. I'm interested to talk to him about the thought process about that decision. He had a bit of a wacky year last year, didn't he? Because for those that maybe don't remember, he has his annual big St. Patrick's Day celebration in New York, which fell through. It was one of the first shows to fall through at the start of the year. He finishes the year with a horrific ankle injury, and in the middle of it, I think he has his best professional performance against Sofiane Takouch. So he's here now against a guy that is a two-weight European champion who is being dubbed the Irish Killer because he's beaten his last two fights against former world champion TJ Doheny, and then obviously against Davey Oliver. Mate, he was absolutely sensational. So it's a good fight, a real competitive fight, and an opportunity for Michael, like I said, to establish himself as the number one contender here, and hopefully at some point this year, because I think we all want this, for Michael to be fighting for a world title. Yeah,
because if he does win that world title, he's wanting around August, I think he's talking about that kind of time.
Fans, Ali. Let's get him in. Let's get him in Ireland.
I know. Fingers crossed. What do you make of his chances at world level for that world title?
I've always thought, skill-wise, Michael Conlan can do it at world level. The question has always been, does he bang? Last time out against Sofiane Takouch, there was moments in there where he was doing what he always does, outboxes someone, looking $1 million. But then he put his foot down and he started going through the gears a little bit, and you think to yourself, okay, right, yeah, he's here now. Maybe the penny's dropped. Maybe it's the change of trainer because he's working in a new team. He has been for a year or so now. Listen, he's a superstar. You've interviewed him. You've stuck microphones in his face. The kid absolutely rocks it, doesn't he? He's brilliant on the microphone. He looks, dresses far better than me anyway. He looks like a superstar. He just needed those performances in the ring to really capture the imagination of the casual fans, because I think the hardcore fans are on board with the Michael Conlan train. It's those casual fans where you need those viral knockouts to go on Instagram, to go on Twitter, and people go, he's the man. He's got an opportunity to do that against a real tough contender at the weekend.
Yeah, you're saying about his power. He is stepping down a weight, but he said he feels really big and strong at that weight. So, although we're wondering could it have an effect, because he's more drained going down a weight, but he said he's punching harder and he feels massive at the weight.
Got to believe him then, haven't we? Got to believe him. He's not going to say no.
He says he's going to get a knockout. That's what he's saying.
Well, that's what we all want to hear. And to be fair, when I saw that he was stepping down in weight, that was my thought process. Maybe he was thinking to himself that he could get rid of that extra poundage in order to then be the bigger, more physical guy on the night. We'll find out Friday. He's got all the skills in the world. I'd love to see something stellar, like a real viral moment that goes around the world, and then all of a sudden we're in a packed stadium, fingers crossed, in August time for Michael Conlan fighting for a world title. Who knows?
Well, the world title that's happening on Friday, we've got to talk about Mthalane versus Sonny Edwards. Yeah. So that's obviously Sonny Edwards' first shot at the world title. He's been saying for a long time, he's very confident, he's been calling out everyone. He isn't afraid to fight tough opponents, but this is a tough opponent for him.
He's a lunatic, mate. Why has he called this guy out? This guy is... You don't mess with this fella. What is it? 13 years undefeated. If you were to look at this just on paper, you could look at him, you go, he's 38 years of age, he hasn't fought for, 15 months or something. This is the right time, let's go and get him. But we're guessing. That 15 months, we haven't seen him. But if you actually look at the fights that he's had previous to that 15 months, at 36, 37, and a little bit before that, the fella's getting better. He ain't going downhill. Most people, when they get to that stage, are obviously on the slide. Mthalane's not showed any of that. And if you look at his resume, he's got wins against Tete, Casemiro. You've seen what Casemiro's done recently. It don't get more tougher than this in this division. There's no doubt about that. Sonny Edwards is a lunatic, but he's backing himself, and you've got to admire that confidence. Again, there's another question. Skill-wise, got it all day long. And there's going to be a question as to whether he has the power to put a dent in Mthalane. He is stepping down in weight. He says he feels more comfortable at this weight. I think stylistically it's a beautiful, beautiful fight. It really is, because you've got an immovable object that can really whack in the South African against the kid who can he's probably going to do Strictly Come Dancing one day, isn't he? You know what I mean? With his footwork, he's unbelievable. So we'll see, man. It's stylistically, it's a beautiful fight.
Do you think that Sonny Edwards is going to be able to prove himself as, people say he's feather-fisted and, he can't punch, but he wants to make a statement. This is, that's the aim, and do you think he's going to?
I think it might be the wrong thing to do to dig your toes in and go toe-to-toe with this fella. He's got all the skills in the world as Sonny, and I think he knows in the back of his mind that Mthalane whacks and he's tough. Why would you want to try and whack and be tough with a guy like that? Use your skills. And he's got beautiful footwork, he's got great hands, he's one of the most evasive fighters that I've seen come out of Britain for a long period of time. His lateral movement's absolutely beautiful. Play to those skills, man. Dance. I'm told that he stopped eating Monster Munch in the preparation for this fight. So the tank's going to be there, isn't it? So hopefully from the first moment to the last moment, he's going to be like a wasp flying around the blooming jam jar. You know what I mean? Absolutely on fire. And he's going to have to be, because if he does get clipped, and he's been clipped before, Sonny, he's been on his bum. Fair enough, he got up, dusted it off and got the job done. But if he gets clipped off this guy, it might hurt a little bit more than it has done previously.
It's going to be a good night of boxing. Looking at 2 weeks, I think it is, ahead. We've got Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders. We've been waiting for that fight for a long time. It was meant to happen last year. It didn't. It is now happening. I think it's the 8th of May. That is a big, big fight. At the moment, Canelo is looking unstoppable. Do you think that's going to change?
Right. Are you ready for this now? About 3 years ago, I'm taking you back on a little journey here now. About 3 years ago, I said that Billy Joe Saunders is the guy to be able to topple the Canelo and the Triple G throne, right? He's the guy. He's got all the skills in the world. There's no question about that. But in the 3 years from me saying that to where we're at right now, let's be honest, he's not shown anybody that. He's not shown anybody that in public that he's that guy. It's been quite disappointing. Since the David Lemieux fight, it's been really disappointing. I can understand why maybe fans are a little bit frustrated with him. But he reminds me, Billy, and this obviously comes from heritage and what have you, he reminds me so much of Tyson Fury. And what I mean by that is, we've seen Tyson Fury have flat performances against guys that are not necessarily on his level. He lowers himself to their level and he just goes through the motions because he can't be bothered. You put a dangerous bit of jeopardy in front of him, all of a sudden he switches on. We saw that in the Deontay Wilder fight for Tyson Fury. David Lemieux can whack. We saw it with Billy Joe Saunders. He turned up to the plate. He's looking focused, he's sounding focused, he's talking the talk, innit? But he is taking on the best fighter in the world. And there's no doubt about that. People can have their own opinions about Catterall and various things that he got up to in the past. He is, resume-wise, the way that he's going through the weight divisions, he's just absolutely outrageous, this kid. He can go backwards, forwards, he can fight, he can box you name it. Canelo can do the blooming lot. Slick southpaw that moves sideways have given him trouble in the past. Mm-hmm. I think he'll win rounds. It's horrible this, because there's nothing that will please me more than Billy Joe Saunders beating Canelo. Absolutely nothing more. I just think Canelo's just a little bit too crafty and wise and clever and good. I don't think he'll stop Billy. I really don't think he'll stop Billy. But Billy's going to have to stop him to win the fight, and I can't see that happening. That's why I probably edge towards a Canelo points victory. But I hope I'm blooming wrong, mate, because that would be unbelievable. We're talking now. I mean, older fans that were watching your channel will probably go, what are you talking about? Lloyd Honeyghan and Donald Curry and what have you. I'm saying now, if he does it, it's the best British victory overseas in America that we have ever seen. It will be unbelievable because of the stature of where Canelo's at right now.
It is going to be epic to watch. I think 2 weeks after that, then we've got Josh Taylor Ramirez.
Hey, your money's worth here, mate.
May as well ask them all. May as well ask them all. This will be the last one I ask. I mean, it's a huge fight. So I just want to ask you about that one. It's going to be, undisputed. It's a big fight. What do you think of Josh Taylor and his chances in that fight? Oh,
big chances. I'm a huge fan of Josh Taylor. The thing about Josh Taylor is, and why I'm a fan, is if you look at the resume and where he's at in the amount of fights that he's had and the stellar fighters that he's fought. I mean, when he stepped up and he fought Victor Postol, you're thinking, this is stupid that you're doing this at this particular time. Stepped up to the plate, did the business again. The fight against Regis Progress last time out, wow, man. I said last time out, he fought Kong Song, didn't he? But you know which one I mean, when he became champion. Absolutely unbelievable. And for me, this might be a bit controversial, I think Progress is better than Ramirez. So Josh has already come through that fight. He's already come through it. It were a war. He's done the business. Don't get me wrong, Jose Ramirez is legit. Top fella as well, you know what I mean? Doing a wonderful amount of work charity-wise for his farming heritage in California. He's a lovely, lovely fella. And it'll be a hell of a fight because it's in America, it's in front of fans. My word, man. And as you said, the thing that we're all banging on about, every single fan watching this banging on about, is that we want to see the best against the best. We want one champion per division. There's too many belts, let's be straight, there is. We want undisputed champions. We want big unifications. And we're getting it. Fair play to my namesake. He's not my son. All these people that keep texting me about Jack Catterall. He's not my lad, all right? But I'm sure we're related in some way, shape or form. Fair
you
play.
Want to be?
Of course I do, mate. Yeah, especially when he becomes world champ. Anyway, he's taken that step back. Yeah. He's allowed this fight to happen. And what an opportunity for him as well, waiting in the wings for the winner of this. It's going to be a great fight. And it's happening, by the way, on my 40th birthday.
Really?
May 22nd.
Is that what you're going to be doing? Spending your birthday watching?
Well, I've tried my blooming best to get there, but with all these travel bans and quarantines coming back, I don't fancy spending 2 weeks in quarantine after my birthday, you know what I mean? So, no, I will. I'm taking a night off. I'm going to enjoy myself. I hope I'm still awake by the time these lads walk to the ring. I'm sure I will be because it's such a great fight. I can't wait to see it.
Well, have a great birthday. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I took a lot and enjoy the presser. Thank you.